So when they talk about the iliums this, the iliums that. So this is so cool. So the ilium hits it out of the park for father, but now when you talk about, oh, the ilium's position, that perfect S on the end now brings the iliums up to double father, precisely. Now, the official way that you pluralize ilium is the ilia, which is just as beautiful for father, because now you still have, in fact, now you have the heat, the letters heat at the dead center, father, letter for letter. Good night. And then everything else divides by 3. So the ilia is father plus 6. Amazing. So the ilia is father plus 6. The ilium was father plus the ilium was father plus 39. Amazing. Very glaring, the letter for letter correlation though. Okay. The ilium. So the ilium is the top part. The iliac crest. Crest. 39, 44. It's 21, 65. Okay. The ilium. And then I would just like to visit, so the ilium, the ilia connects to the sacrum. I would just like to revisit the sacrum for father here, the sacrum, kind of like sacred, okay. Wait for it. Let's pop off the obvious here. Sewer. Okay. Okay, I see a lot in there, the sacrum. And then the ischium does is very obvious. The ischium does the same thing as the ilium. It just adds more 3s to the party. You've literally just injected 18 points. Ischium is just 18 higher than ilium. And so I'm assuming that the plural of ischium is ischia. The ischia, which we just do the same thing we already preached on. Okay, so ischiums. I'm surprised they don't say what the plural is. Os coxe. Os coxe. That is mind-blowing. Os coxe is the official Latin term, I believe, for hip bone. And that gives you your OSX is father, Flankton 24. So os coxe. You memorize this stuff because it's all the glory of God. It's healthy for your brain to do all this. Os coxe equals the Lord. Glaring for father. You can take the OS. Yeah, take the OS plus, you got 2 options. You can take the OS plus the X to equal father, or you can take the OS plus the COAE, and both are symmetrical, putting them on top. Okay. Amazing. If you take the OSCO enough, that's amazing. So the os coxe is a screaming father. Gem. It's pretty obvious to me when we look at pelvic girdle that you see father in both words. In fact, the word pelvic is mathematically identical to the word girdle. They start with a +1, the P and the G, that glorifies father, and then they have the E, the V, the D, and 3 letters that divide by 3. So pelvic is identical to the word girdle, both parallel father. Pelvic is water, father plus 9. Girdle is father minus 3. So the pelvic girdle, okay, that's father plus 9, and then father minus 3. Pelvic girdle. Amazing. And then so, if you want to be really cool now and talk about all the pelvic girdles of the world, now what you've done in pelvic girdles is you now perfectly have triple father. So there are many pelvic girdles on this planet. Every human being has one. Listen to this. This is so cool. Pelvic, father plus 9. Girdle, father minus 3. Now, I realized in my mind that that's a difference, an overall difference of plus 6. The equals 33. So, you've got 39. You just need an S to complete the puzzle. And so now, flawlessly, the pelvic girdles equals triple father. Bang. Done. There are millions, and there have been billions of pelvic girdles in world history. The pelvic girdles equals father, father, father. Now, if you're exceptionally good, which we are, you'll take this even higher. Okay, and you will talk about the pelvic girdle bones. Now you've even just injected God's name 1, which is the dead center of... Okay, the pelvic girdles, triple father. Okay. That's amazing. So the THES gave you your 52. Right, okay. Fine. So let's do a thorough, let's quickly search for that 58 and yeah, and then father's on the end of pelvic girdle, just like C bones in zygomatic bones. And there's father plus 6 in front. Okay. I just want to do proper diligence here, seeing if there's anything central. Let's quickly hit the pelvic girdles, just see what's there. Cool. The pelvic girdles ends in father, has the father near the center, and the rest equals the final father. Okay, but we walk through the letter for letter, like pelvic girdle, father, father. Ilium was father. Iliac crest. You can't resist just seeing this. It doesn't take long to check it for the first time in history. Iliac crest. Okay, that's got a beautiful father. 21 plus, okay, father king. Always just check a few things. Just satisfy the curiosity. If you say iliac crests, that would put father at the dead center of that and on the end. Iliac crests is Holy Father, and you have 2 iliac crests. So we've seen a lot of that, like at the dead center of zygomatic bones was father. At the dead center of iliac crests is, so write it down. Iliac crests equals Holy Father. Okay, so the dead center is your father, and then the ILTS is your holy. Iliac crests. So the main thing is fathers at the dead center of iliac crests, just like fathers at the dead center of zygomatic bones, which are your 2 cheekbones. Okay, so we're really hot on finding that 58 at the dead center, because we know that father's at the center of all the worship in heaven and everything and everyone in the universe, including the Trinity. Like when Jesus said he is standing on the right hand of the Father, you know, it says to me that the Father is at the center. Jesus is either standing or seated on the right hand of the Father. The Holy Ghost could sit on the left, you know. I'll bet you anything. When Jehovah showed up as three men to Abraham in Genesis chapter 18, I believe it is, and the triune God showed up in three physical male bodies before Abraham, I'll bet you anything God the Father stood in the dead center. And I'll bet you anything Jesus Christ the Son stood on his right hand. And I'll bet you anything the Holy Ghost stood on the left hand. I'll bet you anything by God Almighty that God the Father stood at the dead center of the trio, the three men that showed up to Abraham long ago in Genesis chapter 18. Read it for yourself. And the Lord and Jehovah, here's evidence for it. At the dead center of the letters, the Lord is Father. Okay? And then can you find Father in Jehovah? Yes, pop off the J and the A. Okay? It behooves me to take a quick peek at what's left over. There's the HE. Yeah. A lot of parallels. Okay. So iliac crest, Holy Father, ilium, or the ilia. Okay. Wait a second. This website, Wikipedia, is spelling ilium with two L's. Well, awesome, because so apparently there's some discrepancy. Most people spell it with one L. No, that was an error, because everywhere else it's one L. So ilium comes from the Latin meaning groin or flank. But we are hot on the modern. Alright, so we solve the ilium for Father. It's just like the word Lord, just like ischium. So all of those words go to Father all by themselves. Ilium, ischium, pubis. Pelvic girdle. Acetabulum. Okay. Acetabulum. Acetabulum. Ooh, man. 3 beautiful symmetrical finds of Father in acetabulum. And what's left over is the TU, which is King. Okay, so if you say acetabulums, that will equal Holy Father, just like iliac crests. I always like trying to see if we can get the 58 right at the dead center, because we've been seeing that everywhere. Okay. Alright, so the body and the wing. Body goes to Father, wing goes to Christ. Body is Father minus 12, wing is Christ minus 24. Okay, so big solves in hip bones. Let's just find Father and pelvis. Amazingly, the Father, the 58 that you find in pelvis is in the exact, similar slots as in pubis. Very similar. Ooh, wait a second. That's the glory we were waiting for. The pelvis equals Father, Father. This is glaring. The pelvis equals Father, Father. Just like the phalanges. Remember? Your finger bones and your toe bones. The phalanges equals Father, Father. Well, the pelvis equals Father, Father. Genius. Okay, so we had to get to this. The center of your body, pretty much. So, we already threw it in the computer, and are literally staring at the precisely 10 different ways. Excuse me, there's precisely 5 ways exactly to split the pelvis into 2 teams of 58. Take your pick. I can't resist choosing one team to be the father that exists in the letters pelvis. It is irresistible, okay? And yes, it's also the letters that are contained in Elvis. And it's very beautiful because it's the EL, I'll paint it first. It's the ELVS in pelvis, okay? The exact same slots as we saw father in pubis. The final letter and then the other 3 ones there. So we found father in pelvis and we found father in pubis in the same slots near the back. But now watch this. Those letters in pelvis, you got the bookends equal father, the LV, beautiful, amazing. Listen to the off ones in ELVS to FATHER. E is 1 less than an F. S is 1 higher than an R. Then V is 1 higher than an AT. And L is 1 less than an HE. Just perfect. So there's your father in pelvis. Now I recognize that you have the famous pi, the mathematical symbol pi left over, just pi, which goes to father. It equals all. And then you stick the word da in front and you perfectly have the all, which equals father. Okay. Furthermore, you have the 3 plus 2s, the 1 plus 1, the final letter divides by 3 just like in father. Enough said. The pi, okay, the pi, you know, if I was to write the pi symbol, the pi equals father, it equals the all. So now the pelvis puzzle has been completed. It equals double father. The pi, you get the 2929, 2 half fathers. Okay. So there's my official painting of the pelvis equals father, father. And we walked through the details of that and how beautifully aligned the letters were. So the pelvis is also known as the center of you. When you stand upright, the pelvis is the is basically the center of you. So that was good, and that makes sense now. So the pelvis is a father-father double. Pelvic girdle was a father-father double. Remember that? Pelvic, father, girdle, father. Okay, that's genius. I'm just going to revisit the hip bones. Okay, there's stuff to, we know that'll parallel father overall. There's lots of stuff to see there. Plus 30, there's beautiful stuff in hip bones for father. That's fine, but start simple. The pelvis. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. So everyone wants a piece of the word pelvic, which equals water, goes to father. So yeah, we did really good justice on the pelvis, the pubis, the ilium, the ischium. It's great to go to the center, like the pubic arch, and we did the symphysis pubis. We saw how father got the last word there. The pubic arch. Let's just find Father in the pubic arch. Several symmetrical ways. 1, 2, 3. So I am Father. Yeah, there's a symmetrical way to find Father in pubic arch, and that's pretty sweet because the bookends of pubic arch equals the bookends of Father. And then the UC divided by 3, the IA parallels the TF, and then the rest is your I am. So pubic arch equals I am Father. Genius. That's like the center bottom connection of the. And then we looked at the symphysis pubis. You always got to go to the center of everything because Father's at the center of it all. Like the heart, the lungs. Okay, so we did justice to the pelvis, the pubis. True pelvis and false pelvis will be Father, Father doubles. Amazing. You always got to go to the center. So remember the cosix is Father plus Son. The sacrum has many beauties in it. It's got I am at the dead center. In fact, it has a double I am at the dead center of sacrum. That's worth writing down. You always go to the center of words. You always go to the center of everything. The sacrum, 3, 3 letters, and at the dead center is I am, flanked in another I am. So that's the word hero, at the dead center of the sacrum. And then, wow, you have half a Father flanking that, and then Amen flanking that. So big, big cool stuff in symmetry in the sacrum. Smoking cool stuff. Oh my. Cool. The sacrum. Okay. I mean, it starts with God's name, Lamb, man. Then you have I am. You have one on the end. So, you have one man, one lamb, Jesus. Then you have double I am in the sacrum. Bookended with Amen. Okay, so you really do see it coming at you. And then you gotta bake your brain with this. 3 syllables of 3 letters apiece. The sacrum. This is just what God ordained in the vertebral column. So wow. Okay, look at this. If I choose so many of the shared letters in the sacrum for Father, the more you look, the more you see. But watch this. Take the word heat in the sacrum, and then take the CU, which equals the FR in Father. And now we have SMR, I believe, which is 50. Vine. Lion. Okay, titles of God. Okay, but I am was at the center. Sacrum 75. Yeah, and the word genius was 75. It was effectively it was a 25 triple, or an I am triple. Yeah, sacrum, the genius. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if sacrum contained Holy Ghost as well. We're close to it. You can't get ghost out of that. That'll bet you. I mean, the sacrum, the other glaring thing about the sacrum is it equals worship, double love, in like smoking hot symmetry. The plus CR is love, and then SAUM is love. Holy and Ghost, nicely in there. Okay. Let's continue on. Iliac spine E6999. It's amazing. So then Father will get the iliac spine because there's spin, Father, and the rest is pure threes. The sacroiliac, everyone's favorite term. Amazing. Okay, so we did a good job on that central anatomy. I might... Okay, we solved a lot in there. So yeah, hip bones, just like bones of the skull. Letter for letter goes to Father. I just want to get that set of letters on the table again. Hip bones. And find... Okay, so there's a gorgeous symmetrical Father in 6 letters in hip bones. It's Father plus 30. It contains the word spin equals Father, contains the word phone, which equals Father. Okay, hip bones. Phone equals Father. It's got spin equals Father. But then the symmetrical trio, okay, 6 letters that are flawless for Father and hip bones. There, that was kind of what I wanted to get to. I could see it was flawless for Father based on the letter design. But now in hip bones you have the 3 in the HIBOES. You have the 3 plus 2's HBE, the S, the single plus 1, the IO divided by 3 equaling the FR, which divided by 3 in Father. Good night. Okay, and then what's your bonus letters is your PN equals 30. So hip bones is Father plus 30. Okay. And then if you say the hip bones, you can do something really cool. Now that bumps up to 63, but pop off the E, and now you have a Father-Father double. The PN plus the TH. It's amazing how that happens. But you always got to solve what's on top and at the center, because that's Father. So hip bones, we did pelvis. We're getting this put together. Go ahead and solve the pelvic ligaments. Ligaments equals lightning. Pelvic parallels Father. So pelvic ligaments will be a Father-Father double. Now I've got to memorize where... You got to memorize these things. Where is Father in pelvic? One way. Everything except the I. Right. Water. So pelvic ligaments will be Father, great Father. Sacroiliac. I can't resist getting sacroiliac on the table because it's everyone's favorite word to say. The sacroiliac. I mean, it needs to be sung, like it needs to be rapped. The sacroiliac. You just sound cool saying the sacroiliac. It equals 90. You got the I am screaming at you. I'm on the hunt for Father. Yeah, there's Father, wait for it. There's Father in symmetry and sacroiliac. In 6 letters again. Sacroiliac. It's the I am right at the front of the sacroiliac. Pretty amazing. It's interesting to see what's left over once you pop off the Father. S E I C. Life. Okay. Putting the words together, putting the puzzle together. Okay. Alright, we've done a lot of central anatomy. Man, once you get into the names of muscles, it'll also blow your mind. That'll really blow your mind, because interestingly the word muscle goes to father, the word bone goes to son. Bones, plural, goes to father, but as a single word, and we know that muscles go on top of bones. So muscle goes to father, from the inside out in 6 letters. Bone goes to son, Jesus the Son. And so once you start solving muscle names and finding father in the muscle names, you will be blown away. Now, I am not nearly as skilled in the muscle names as I am in the bone names. And I would say that's the case for most people. But mark my words, you will find father in the top and center of this whole scene. You know, a good place, you start with central anatomy, like the abdominal muscles. Crazy. So blow your mind. You know, obviously the reproductive centers, all those terms find father center. Clitoris, urethra, vagina, penis. We've done all this. Preliminary. Okay, there's lots to be. And then rotation, abduction, and all that. They all end in father. I'm saying things I know, but now there's more to solve. The muscular system. Oh man, also known as skeletal muscle. I knew that was coming. Skeletal is father plus 27, and muscle is father plus 15. They both start with +1s, just like pelvic girdle. Father wastes no time getting the first letter for himself. The skeletal muscle. Father, father. And this is going to be crazy once people find father in the most central and important, and it's all the muscles of the human body. And you will also find all the personal names of God, of course, in every part of the human body, because it's the whole picture needs to be complete. All the names of personal names of God, but Father is the kingpin. Okay, so just revisit the patella. Oh yeah. So Father gets the end of the word muscles. Okay. Lots to see. I'm going to quickly solve the patella. Oh yeah, that's father at the bookends, like just like father takes the glabella. Yeah, that was what I remember about the patella, the glabella. Father gets those nice bookends, the awl. Okay, more to come. Anatomy, solving it all for father.